So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below, so check those out for massive discounts on all your Hidden Summoner needs as well as all your other Yu-Gi-Oh needs. But let's get on with the profile. What's up YouTube, YUGIOH bringing you an updated Dark Magician deck profile. Now, this is something that hasn't had a lot of field testing as of yet. It's had a lot of online testing, but it's something that I kind of put together and thought, you know, this could work. This could be very, very interesting if it plays out. And the whole idea about this is you use and abuse the Brilliant Fusion engine to get into Summon Sorceress as early as you can, and you get that troublesome Dark Magician out of your deck turn 1. Like your first turn, you get him out of your deck, you get him onto the board. It doesn't matter if his effect's negated because he's vanilla. Hopefully that will then trigger your Dark Magical Circle, not to mention any other kind of card effects you've got going on, and then you push your plays further forward with already having a Dark Magician on board. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do, I'll take you through the profile, explain to you why I've got the ratios I have, and then I'll also talk to you about the FTK that can happen. I believe it can happen with Red Eyes Flare in this deck. Dark Magician can FTK, believe it or not. I'll explain that FTK. I don't play that FTK, but it is something that you could trial out in the end if you want to. So, without further ado, let's get started. So we start off with, of course, triple Dark Magician OG art. The Dark Magician lineup is always very, very straightforward. Triple OG art, triple Magician's Rod, double Apprentice Illusion, and one Magician of Dark Illusion. Now, we're not playing the impermanence in this version, so it's not as relevant. The best thing with the impermanence is you have to open up impermanence and this to give you a turn 1. If not, the impermanence is still good, but it's quite expensive right now, even with the reprint announced. We've got the one that's Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, and then for the Brilliant Fusion engine, we've got triple Lone Fire Blossom, double Scorpio, and one Cobra. Now, you could drop the Scorpio down to 1 because it's not the end of the day if you do open up the Scorpio. It just means your Lone Fires are then dead. So it really depends on your deck lineup, your deck ratio, and if you want to put one other alternative card in this deck. On top of that, we do have the one at Gem Knight Lazuli, because if you do have a Dark Magician engraved, like you've made Apprentice Illusion or something like that, you do want to be able to bring it back. So you can bring a Dark Magician back from your grave to your hand, should you use it for either discard fodder, or if you wanted to play Cosmic Brain in the deck as well, it does give you an option of recycling your Dark Magicians, and on top of that, your Magician's Navigation. And then, of course, we've got the One Trick Clown. Now, this is the most important card off the Brilliant Fusion because it does then allow you to go straight into Summon Sorceress from Cobra and Scorpio. So, continuing on, we're moving into the spells. I'll explain to you, or I'll show you the combo at the end of how you go into Summon Sorceress. So, we go in with triple Dark Magic Circle, straightforward on that one, triple Spellbook of Secrets, triple Called by the Grave. You want all your effects to go off as best as you possibly can. Double Pot of Desires. We do know that Dark Magician painfully bricks sometimes, so you want to be able to try and fix it. 9 times out of 10, the issue with Pot of Desires in this deck is when you play it, you're either going to win the game or it will lose the game, all from playing that one card. Because if you banish 2 Dark Magicians, you're in serious trouble. If you don't banish any, you're in good place. Double Spellbook of Knowledge for your draw power. The one Brilliant Fusion. Now, I know a lot of you out there like, what? If you hard draw it, great. If you don't hard draw it, absolutely fine. You're going to search it off of your Brilliant Fusion kind of plants anyway. So it's not a necessity to open it up. You want to have as much deck fin ability as possible, getting rid of the Brilliant Fusion, as much of the Brilliant Fusion engine as you possibly can, so you don't have as dead draws, which is why Scorpio could go down to 1 technically in this deck. So you want to minimise your dead draws after you've used the Brilliant Fusion engine, because once you've kind of got your Summon Source plays on board, you should really have game going on from there. We've got the one Dark Magic Inheritance, of course, additional Searcher in the deck. Illusion Magic, bring back your Dark Magician should you need it. The one Monster Reborn. And then, of course, for our traps, very straightforward. Triple Magician's Navigation and double Eternal Soul. Not much more needs to be said about that. That is all pretty straightforward and simple. Okay, so now on to the extra deck. Of course, you've got the one Gem Knight Seraphonite, quite self-explanatory for the Brilliant Fusion engine. And then on to the XYZs, we've got the one number 11 Big Eye, the one Ibon Illusion, the one number 42 Galaxy Tomahawk, and the one Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Now this of course contributes to the FTK. Then of course onto our link plays, we do have double Link Spider for the Eternal Soul Loop, and of course the number 42 Galaxy Tomahawk plays. We've then also got a Proxy Dragon, and a Cleafort Aeneas. And then moving on with the rest of our link monsters, we've got the 1 Nightmare Phoenix. We then have the 1 YUGIOH Apprentice, which contributes towards your Summon Sorceress plays, as well as being a very, very good card in the deck. We've then, of course, got the 1 Summon Sorceress, the 1 Nightmare Unicorn, and then the 1 Borolo Dragon and the 1 Saruja Skullred. Quite self-explanatory on those themselves. I prefer Borolo over Borosword, but if you do have the Borosword, you can easily put this in here if you wish. Now I'm going to quickly show you the combo that makes your Summon Sorceress and pushes your plays further forward that way. On top of that, I will explain the FTK. So the FTK is with Gelato, I believe it is. It's like the little, I haven't got the card on me myself, but it's like a little card that when you deal damage to your opponent or something like that, its effect activates. And I believe because it's come under Summon Sorceress, so you use Summon Sorceress effect to give that to your opponent. You've got your Red Eyes Flare in the graveyard. And I believe when your opponent deals damage to you, tribute this card off and negate or reverse the damage, something like that. But then because its effects are negated, it doesn't negate the activation, it just negates the effect. So it activates and resolves without effect, apparently. So that would then mean that your Red Eyes Flare burns, they then try and activate the effect again. Red Eyes Flare burns, it tries effect, and it goes back and forth, and it's like an eternal loop. I don't know if it's actually doable, but it's just something that I've been told. Anyway, we're going to go through this quick combo to get you into your Summon Source in your Dark Magician deck. So you get your Cobra, your Scorpio and your Cobra onto the board. Let's just say we've discarded a Dark Magician for this. You don't have to, of course you could have the Apprentice Illusion. This is just to get maximum effect out of it. So you've discarded a Dark Magician to the graveyard. Let's zoom out so you can see more of the board. So you got those there, you got that there, and of course you got your Brilliant Fusion in hand. Link these guys together and go into your YUGIOH. Obviously, you could play 2 YUGIOHs in this deck if you wanted to, because this is just going to be the stepping stone to get into your Summon Source. You'd activate your Brilliant Fusion, send in your Lazuli and your Trick Clown. Of course, your Lazuli can then add the Dark Magician back to your hand if you want to, and of course if you've used it. And then you go into your Gemini Seraphonite. That will then give you an additional normal summon. Of course, Trick Clown's effect will come off and bring it down here. Now, with your additional normal summon, of course, what you ideally want to be doing is you do want to have a dark monster in your hand to play on your additional normal summon. So whether it be a dead Cobra or, of course, a Magician's Rod, doesn't really matter too much. What you've got to be very careful of is you would then link these guys together, go into your Summon Source because they are both spellcasters. You can put Summon Source over here if you want to. At least it clears that space there for you. And then with your additional normal, of course, you want to make sure it goes to a zone that Summon Sorceress points to. This effect would then go off, of course, giving you, ideally, your Dark Magical Circle if you haven't got it already. There you go. There's your Dark Magical Circle. You then use Summon Sorceress effect. Now, of course, you could use the effect to put one to the zone it points to, but there's no point. You might as well use this effect to target this and special summon out a Dark Spellcaster from your deck. That straight away gives you your Dark Magician. And that will then trigger an effect off, whether it be banishing a card from your opponent's zone or whatnot, depending on whether you've gone first or second. And then after that, it's entirely up to you if you want to link into a link 2 or a link 3. You do have Proxy Dragon if you want to. Entirely up to you on where you want to go from that step forward. You can go to a Unicorn if it's going turn 2 and you want to banish one and remove one. Entirely up to you on how you want to push further forward on that. So it is quite straightforward. You do need, ideally, I think it's 3 card combo, because you'll need the discard fodder for your Scorpio. You would then need a Dark Spellcaster or a Dark Monster in your hand, whether that be Apprentice or, of course, Rod, in your hand in order to get your additional normal summon off. And then on top of that, you'd be looking at, so what's that? That's the additional normal summon monster, the discard fodder for the Scorpio, and then of course the Scorpio card, or of course Lone Fire, the equivalent thereof. So that is it for the Dark Magician deck profile. It is something I'm trying out. I will be taking it to my locals. When this video goes out, I would have taken it to my locals last night, so I'll hopefully give you a kind of an update of how the deck went. It is something fun that I want to try it out and see if it actually really pushes the deck to a new level. I'm just trying to think of other ways to get Summon Source as quickly as I possibly can in a Dark Magician deck, and this was one of the ways that kind of stuck out to me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. Also YouTube, thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings and many more Yu-Gi-Oh videos coming up for you all year round. So don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always guys, happy dueling.